Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to this live stream today, the Thursday, 6th of October 2022. It's a bit of an early one today. It's an early live stream. Let's see who is coming to dinner with us. Hello, let's wait and see who comes up before we start this live stream. Hello, my dear friends. You are welcome to this live stream edition on Thursday, the 6th of October 2021. You're welcome aboard. This live stream is a bit of an early one. Of course, I'm testing times here to see which time is best suited for a live stream, but you are all very welcome. I'm Francis Page, your host here on Francis Page Media, a channel where you always come to catch up with the latest that is going on in the world of our British royals. So welcome aboard this live stream. Before I start, guys, I would like to say that these views are my very own views. And when we come to this channel here on these live streams, we are here to show kindness, but also to learn more about what has been going on in the world of our British royals. So you're all welcome to this live stream, guys. I'm very glad that you always come and show up on these live streams to catch up with what is always going on in our royals world. Thank you so much for your subscriptions. Those new subscribers who have just joined us recently, thank you so much for always subscribing to this channel. And to you all my old subscribers, I am very grateful for your support. Please keep on supporting this channel's messages. We are growing steady fast. So again, today we are here to talk about what has been going on in the world of our British royals. Guys, if my sound isn't the best, let me know and I make some adjustments. I had a few issues with this sound system, but hopefully we will be okay. So here we go. So our royals have been moving around again. They've stepped out. Of course, the mourning period for the Queen has ended. So they have all flown out there again to go and carry on with royal duties. You know, they never stop, do they? So they are all out, especially the ladies in the royal family. All the ladies have stepped out recently. And so to start with, of course, we know that the Countess of Wessex, Sophie, is out in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So this is the first time a member of the royal family is visiting Congo. Of course, Congo is somewhere in East Africa, close to Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Malawi. It's within that region, and I think it just recently joined the East African community. So yes, that shows to us that security, peace, cooperation is starting to take shape in this country that had for long been engulfed under civil wars and people losing their lives, etc. So, and that's probably the reason why we didn't have any members of the royal family visit Congo for all that time being. So Sophie, the Countess of Wessex, then became the first royal to visit Congo, and apparently she is doing well. Now, this trip to Congo was not really publicized, and I think that came down to security reasons. They were not really sure whether it is very safe to go in Congo. Of course, for a high-profile visitor or guest like Sophie, the Countess of Wessex, they had to keep this visit a little bit private But yes, Sophie, the Countess of Wessex, is very much in Congo. She arrived there safely, and we don't know how many days she'll be spending there, but I think she will be there for about 4 days. And apparently, while there, she has met communities that have been affected by war. So we know that there is an ongoing war in Congo. Those of you who know a bit of history around Congo, there are so many tribes, and then Congo is also massive. So you've got northern Congo, southern Congo, all trying to fight for different territories. And of course, this is a country that has got a bit of mineral resources. So there is a bit of that fight for who gets the better region. And you've got countries within Africa as well sending troops to Congo to help bring back peace in this region. So the Countess of Wessex, Sophie, would be traveling in a quite fragile environment. And I think that explains why this trip has been kept a little bit quiet. So, but yes, Sophie is out there in Congo and she is doing great. Apparently, she has met the local communities that have suffered under war, women and children, orphans, okay, and people who have for long been unsettled by the events of war. Of course, we know what war brings to local communities. People lose their property, their land, women lose their husbands, and husbands lose their women. And of course, we know all those other bad things that take place during war, things like rape, young children being killed, and women getting pregnant, young women, young girls getting pregnant. So these communities are so much fragile and still existing in this region of Africa, Congo. So allegedly or apparently, the Countess of Wessex, Sophie, traveled to Congo and met all these communities to try and work out a plan of how the royal family can continue to support them to live better lives, just like all these other regions in Africa. So yes, if you haven't caught up on that story, please head over to the Royal Family channel. I think they have a story on Sophie's trip to Congo, where you are going to learn more details about the Countess of Sophie's trip to Africa. Hi, Lorraine. Thank you so much for joining us here again. I'm so grateful. You're always on time, Lorraine. Well done. Thank you so much. The A team you are. Great to always see you in these lives. Yes, so but a little bit about Sophie. So we know Sophie is the Queen's daughter-in-law, the late Queen Elizabeth's daughter-in-law, and the wife of Prince Edward. Prince Edward would be Queen Elizabeth's youngest son. And so, yeah, she is very much one of the senior working royals of the British royal family. So this trip would have been planned by the royal family, funded, and all the security measures and publicity all put in place by the royal family. So she traveled down safely, and we expect to see her back here in the UK in the next coming few days, if not on her way back as we speak. But yes, that is Sophie. She's out on a royal engagement in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Right, so up next is Catherine, the Princess of Wales. So Catherine has also stepped out recently. Now, we are going to see Catherine step out more and more, simply because since she got that new title, the Princess of Wales, the title also comes with a lot of responsibilities. As we know, the Princess of Wales, of course, is a title that is going to see her become the next Queen Consort after Camilla. Very, very important title. And of course, we know the last person to have held that title was Princess Diana. And Yes, the royals have been busy, got back into work quickly. They have, yes. The mourning period has ended, Lorraine, hasn't it? So King Charles III announced recently that, the mourning period has ended, and therefore all royals are going to be back to normal, back into business. There is no sitting down. There is a lot of work. There's a backlog of work that still needs to be done. So these trips that we are seeing royals go upon could have been trips that were prearranged or trips that were supposed to be conducted, but because of what went on in those days leading to Queen Elizabeth's death, most of these trips would have been scaled back. But also because of the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, we had so many trips pulled back, brought down, others cancelled. So these trips are now being resurrected, and hence we are going to see a wave of royals going abroad and within the UK to try and catch up with the backlog of these events. But yes, Lorraine says the royals have been busy and they got back into work quickly. Absolutely. So Catherine, as the Princess of Wales, I was saying, is has got so many responsibilities, and of course, these responsibilities come with the royal title. You're going to notice that Catherine is going to step out more and more. And we are going to see Catherine go abroad as well on solo engagements. She's going to step out to have walkabouts in and around the UK on solo engagements as well, together with William sometimes, but mostly solo. And the reason for that is that as the new Princess of Wales, they are trying to establish Catherine as as an authority that is going to come through those ranks to become the next Queen Consort. A very, very important position and figure in the royal family. And so these walkabouts that we are going to see Catherine engaging in will be helping her to build confidence, but also to connect more with the public, in the same way we saw Queen Elizabeth doing, and as well as that, try to get her used to the large gatherings. She would have been already used to this, but of course, they want to see her go out on her own more and more than ever before, because that is where she's heading to. So Catherine made a very, very special engagement yesterday. And Lorna says, good morning, Francis. I can only stay for 5 minutes here on way to physiotherapy. Oh, sorry, Lorna. Thank you so much for stopping over. Such an awkward time I've held this live stream. But you might have missed the introductions. I was saying that I'm testing out times for live streams. So I decided to hold this one a little bit earlier, just to see if it fits in well with people's programs. But I'm really, really sorry that most of you might be still popping out to get a few bits and bobs sorted. I hope your appointment goes well, Lorna. We shall be here wishing you the best of it today. But thank you so much for stopping around. So yes, so Catherine yesterday stepped out to Surrey Royal Hospital. So this is a very, very popular hospital in United Kingdom, especially with young children. The hospital alone looks after more than 3,000 babies. Most of these babies are babies who would have been born through stillbirth. Others lost their mothers in the process, but also we have mothers, of course, who gave birth to these babies who are there, and they are single mothers who are bound to be struggling in raising their children. And also we have lots of babies born with so many problems and incapabilities. So for this royal engagement, Catherine was going to learn more about how the hospital is helping deal with all those issues surrounding young babies who are being born. And of course, to also see how the hospital is helping to look after the young mothers after they've given birth to these babies. So we know that this is one of those projects very close to Catherine's heart. Okay. Let's have a look at that comment. I'm new here. Hello, all, love everything, Royal. Thank you for all your work. Indeed, Lisa Clark, thank you so much for joining us here today. It's great to see new faces pop up. So we've got Lorna there, we've got Lorraine on board as well here, and Lisa's joined in here. Thank you so much, you guys. Everybody else who is on this live today, I am extremely honored to have you here today. And when you come on these live streams, of course, we are looking at what is going on in the world of our British royals. And they are out and about because the mourning period has ended. King Charles III officially announced that the other week was the last week the mourning period ended. So the royals are now out and about. And we saw Sophie, the Countess of Wessex, over in the Democratic Republic of Congo recently to meet victims of war. And we have also seen Catherine step out on a very special engagement recently, and she visited the Royal Surrey Hospital. Those of you who are in UK, you know where the Royal Surrey Hospital is. It is in southwestern part of the United Kingdom, a very popular hospital with young children. This hospital is about an hour and a half away from Windsor, where Catherine and husband, the Prince of Wales, and their family live. So it should have been a very nice and gentle drive down there. And for this visit, of course, Catherine was going to this hospital to learn more about early childhood development. Most of you who have been following up on Catherine's journey, the Princess of Wales, you know that she has young children at heart. So she really, really loves to know how the UK and the world can better support young ones in their processes of growing up. She's a mother of 3, and she has done a great work raising incredible young royals. Most of you know how it is very hard to raise young children, later on children who are going to be royals, who are going to be future kings and queens. Okay, so balancing those two, and add on to that the activities, the royal work that Catherine has to do, we get to understand how things are not as easy as people look at them. So Catherine is out there. She went yesterday on a very special engagement, and she was seen cradling a baby. Most of you saw that image making rounds on social media. And I think it was that moment when Catherine held the baby and sort of stroked the baby's head, and how she held her, handing her back in, tells us that indeed she is a mother who you can see has been actively involved in looking after her own children. Because many people out there were saying that, when royals give birth, straight into the nanny's hands, and they just work on to getting back fit and out there on engagements. No, Catherine actually is always involved in the upbringing of her children. So as a member, as a former working Queen's Guard, I worked for the Queen. I used to see these things take place because I used to provide security for these royal palaces. And I can 100% testify that William and Catherine really, really get so much involved in raising their children. So when you see Catherine going out on engagements and offering that sort of lap to the young ones, that lap is coming from a mother who understands what it is to raise a young child. So Lauren says, I think that's Harry's book. Okay, so Lauren, you're talking to Fred. I think we'll come to that. And yes, so it's great. So with Catherine, of course, this project she's on, which is an early childhood development project, is to help look at the better ways mothers can raise their young ones, but also to contribute to the funding that is so much needed to support organizations like hospitals that are working around the clock to support young mothers and children. So her visits and her work in early childhood development is also partly to raise the much needed awareness and funds to go on and build a better life for the young ones born yesterday. So that was Catherine's visit to the Surrey Royal Hospital in United Kingdom. If you missed that, I made a post yesterday, guys. Pop over to my page and you might be able to catch up with some of the details there. So have I missed any comments here? So unless I'll go back to Fred somewhere. Update of Harry's book. Hi Fred, I must have missed that comment. An update on Harry's book. Harry's book is yet to be published. Apparently, the prince is at crossroads of whether he should go on to publish that book or not. As we know, he got paid a lot of money, around 20 million US dollars, to publish that book. That book was fully done. All the edits were completed prior, a few days before the death of Queen Elizabeth, and it was ready for publication. However, Prince Harry is seemingly trying or starting to develop a change of heart. Okay, so he had a moment of reflection when he came over here for the death of Queen Elizabeth, as he stood guard by Her Majesty's coffin at Westminster Hall. The prince was in deep thoughts, thinking of what that book and its impact, thinking of the impact that book will make to the royal family. Of course, with there's so many things that he wrote in that book, including his unstable life growing up in the royal family, allegedly. So much written about Queen Consort Camilla. Apparently, he wrote a lot around his dad, King Charles III, whom he says wasn't really playing his role as a father. And of course, he wrote around Queen Elizabeth. And so he thought if he releases this book, it's going to cause a bombshell for the royal family. So he is seemingly starting to have a change of heart. Fred, if you're still on here. And so that is now starting to hold back the dates of publication. And apparently he asked Penguin publishers, these people who are going to publish this book, that he's had a few edits to make. And he wants to go and edit out, remove out the bits that he thinks are going to be very delicate. And Penguin publishers are saying, no, we want the book in its original form because they want all those juices. Penguin publishers are after money. Money, money, money. So a book that is going to have all those bits, whether they are going to be lies, is what will sell according to Penguin publishers. So they are telling Harry, please release that book. Get your signature on this book so we can have it released in its originality. And Prince Harry saying, no, I need to make some edits, because he has now started coming back to his senses. He might have written these things during that time. He had just left the royal family. Of course, emotions were high. He was under some kind of influence from the wife, Meghan, and all that stuff. So allegedly, he might have written some of these things out of emotions. And we know what we do when we are acting under some influences. We don't perform our best. So the book is still there where it is. No publication dates have been confirmed yet. And as we know, They are even talking about just scrapping the book. Scrap it. Many people are saying scrap the book. Get rid of the book. And the Penguin Publishers says, we paid you a lot of money. If we get rid of this book, okay, you have to you have to pay back that money. Apparently, there's a huge chunk of it that was paid to Harry in deposits. Okay, and that money would have been used by now. They are living in a 1 million mansion in California, bills to pay. Don't forget, they are no longer getting money from the royal family because they were paid off. So Prince Harry is in such a dilemma. And there is also another controversy surrounding the royal titles because his children apparently, according to a certain source, will not be having royal titles. So if Harry goes on to publish this book, they could even scrap the princess title that they are carrying right now, because King Charles III still has the powers to withdraw all those titles. So for Harry at this point in time, he's starting to think, right, should I go in for money, or should I actually make a decision and hold back this book to secure my children's future? But also, as we know, allegedly, Prince Harry is struggling to cope in the United States. Apparently, he and wife Meghan are thinking of coming back to the UK, to engage in these, and again they are thinking of coming back to the royal family. And when you think about that, can they really come back when they have said what they have? Can they really come back if they have published a book as damaging as that? Okay, so definitely I don't see King Charles III letting them back in. So for Harry to leave that space open for coming back here in case things don't pan out in the United States, he has to pull back that book. Okay, so 1 minute, guys. So that is where we stand with Prince Harry. His book is either going to be sort of abandoned, or he is going to just pull the plug, publish it, and then face the music. 1 minute, guys. Right, are we there? So Fred, I hope I have answered your question there, my friend. Is Prince Harry's book due to be published an update? Yes, that's where we stand right now. Prince Harry is still at crossroads. He doesn't know whether to publish that book or not. I'm new here. Thank you. Yes, I saw that. And then we have, this is my first time on this live chat. Great to see you, Fred. I'm really, really grateful for you guys showing up here. I think the Harry's book will come out to be the talk of 5 minutes live, and we'll move on. Sadly, we have heard it all over and over again. Lauren, you make a very important point there. Very, very important point, because I think Prince Harry is still going to be talking about things that we have already heard from wife Meghan, because we know he, in that Oprah Winfrey interviews, when they said that Prince Harry felt like he was trapped in a system that wasn't helping him, but only undermining his strength, and he talked about his brother, Prince William, the future king, also being trapped in the system, even talking about his dad in ways that you would never imagine. And so what new are we going to hear in this book that people have not heard before? Okay, so there is a narrative that whatever is in that book is what was said on the Oprah Winfrey interviews. The only thing that will change is that these are things that are going to be tangible, that people are going to be able to hold in their hands, see and read. And the damage that will cause, again, is going to be really, really bad, because think about somebody writing a book that is going to circulate around millions and millions of people, but not that, a book that is going to stay on record. But again, this is a two-way thing. We hear that there are already some establishments that are already starting to resist this book, to say we won't have it in our libraries, okay, because of the way it is damaging to the royal family. And most of all these libraries would be libraries that are very much well versed with the values and the work that the royal family does. So having something in their archives that does not agree with the values of the royal family will be a no. So chances are, if this book goes on to be published, we are going to see the lowest sales ever. And the problem with that is that, of course, Prince Harry needs money to survive. They need money to take their family to places, to live a life that a prince needs to live. And if these sales don't come out as expected, what will be next for Prince Harry? He's put a book there, it hasn't done the work, he can't come back to the United Kingdom to work for his father, and then you will see a prince who will be right there hanging in the balance. So these would be some of the problems and the thoughts that Prince Harry is having about releasing this book. And it also doesn't help when his wife, Meghan, is not giving him the right advice and support that Prince Harry needs. Okay, she's apparently behind the scenes pushing him to publish this book because all she wants is money. Let us shame them, let us do this, okay? And of course, we see in Harry's wife Meghan's podcasts that are running right now, she's still digging the royal family in ways that you will never even imagine. So her latest podcast series, Meghan was talking about this sort of framework that was in place that was very limiting to her. And she was also talking about this loud voice coming from a small place, okay, and that loud voice, how her narrative was, how can you let this small place control how you behave, how you act, how you live, eat and do A, B, C, D. And to many people, of course, including myself, our interpretation was that she was talking about the royal family, the protocol. The royal protocol was that was in place, that was not allowing her to do those things that Meghan wanted to do. Of course, we know she thought she would just go in there and say, I want this, I want to do that, I want things my own way. I want to step out in front of Catherine. I want to step out in front of Queen Elizabeth. I want to be the one that is, I want people to roll the red carpet down for me in the same way they do it for Catherine and William. I want my husband to probably, you see, all those conditions. Okay, so she could not, of course, sustain living in the royal family because she found the royal family a very, very different place to how she thought things were supposed to be. And this is a problem when you want to go into a certain establishment. For example, let's say if you're applying for a job in an organization, your research would be finding out the norms, the values, the mission statement of that organization, the people who live in that organization and work, what are their behaviors? How would you behave to fit into that society, in that organization? Okay, so the royal family very much works like another organization out there with its functions, values, mission statements, standard operating procedures, name it. So this would be principles that each and everybody who walks through those doors would be respecting, would be expected to follow every day. Okay, that is the royal family in a nutshell. And it's a farm with conditions and policies that everybody is supposed to follow. And it has a head, it has people in their hierarchy, starting from the monarch all the way up to the aides and security down there. And everybody in their own responsibilities there in the middle have a certain way they are supposed to do things. Okay, and people there are treated differently because of the ranks they hold. So when Meghan Markle moves into this establishment, she couldn't get it. She hadn't, whether she had done her research or not, we don't know. But clearly, she was not ready to follow the policies within there, and she had to crash out. Okay. And now on her podcasts, of course, she's talking about this noise coming from a small place and how the frameworks that that are put in place can limit people to become the best they can be. Don't you think she was digging the royal family? Of course she was. Now tell me if she is going to advise Harry to do otherwise. Of course not. She will encourage Harry to do the same. Do this, pull the plug, do that. You know, okay, so Lorraine says, unless you know, we find out if the Queen is with cornflakes. And Lisa Clark says, I love the way Catherine and William are personally involved with their children. Me too. Very, very, very family oriented. I think Lorraine talked about this last time as well. Catherine and William, as the new Prince and Princess of Wales, have redefined what it means to be a prince and princess. And the values that they carry, the professionalism they have, and their sense of judgment on how the public might perceive certain things is spot on. And I think having these two working together alongside King Charles III, we are having a very strong unit in our monarchy moving forward. And of course, we know that both of them now are really, really stepping up these days in their royal engagements. But like I said before, that has come with the change in titles. Now becoming the Prince and Princess of Wales means that when they go out there, they are now actually seen as the next to be the king and queen. Okay, so they are now connecting more with their public, and that is why for William it is becoming increasingly important for him to start devising ways of stopping his brother from ruining the monarchy. Because for as long as Harry and Meghan are out there doing what they are doing, William's work under here is also going to become a little bit complicated. So for William and Catherine now, their challenge is to try and sort of show the world that what Harry and Meghan are doing is not right. This is what we represent. We are the face of the royal family. We are the face of the future in terms of how the monarchy is going to be moving forward. And boy, they are doing it really, really well. Okay. I just love Catherine. She's just such a natural, caring person. Did you see how she cradled that baby recently at a hospital, Luna? If you missed it, please head to my profile and look at it. It was really, really lovely. That photo with the baby made rounds on the internet, didn't it? But it's great to have these two here presently, because the royal family is facing such testing times, very, very testing times. We know that with the death of Queen Elizabeth, we knew that there is going to be some sort of pressure to try and change how things are being done to ensure that they maintain the lasting legacy that Queen Elizabeth put in place. And part of that would include making sure that the royal family becomes as transparent in its behavior, in its activities as much as possible. And that started on day one with King Charles's proclamation. Is it proclamation or acclamation? I don't know. The very first day we saw Prince Charles sign that document with William and Camilla stood next to him, as you know, as the what are they, as the witnesses. That event usually takes place behind doors, but this was the first time it took place publicly. It was the first time to be televised, and that was the royal family telling us that, right, we are honest, we are transparent, we do things in a way that everybody is kept aware. Okay, so that was very, very counterintuitive of what Meghan and Harry are doing there, because what Meghan and Harry say is that behind doors, those people are doing otherwise. So with the royal family now, all their activities, their approaches are always going to be out there for the public to see. Queen Elizabeth was a little bit reserved sometimes. We didn't know what she was up to. Sometimes she kept us guessing. So that was her approach, and it worked. But when King Charles III comes in, he wants to be more outgoing, inviting people to Buckingham Palace, more parties. We saw him sipping a glass of whiskey the other day. It's saying, right, I'm open to interactions, engagements. We are the new face, the modern monarchy, etc. And the women are going to start going out more on their own, as opposed to before when they used to go out with their husbands. Now we are going to have Kate fly solo. We're going to have Countess Sophie, the Countess of Wessex, like we've seen. She's already flying solo. We have Princess Anne, who, by the way, made a surprise visit to New York. This visit wasn't really publicized, but yes, Princess Anne made a very, very surprising visit to New York, to visit New York City. And of course, she was handing over awards at the Governor General's office in New York, but this was also an official engagement, fully funded and also planned by the royal family. But again, she went solo. So as we can see, the royal women are also starting to step up as solos, as independent, and this shows to the world that whatever Meghan said wasn't true, because Meghan said, "Oh, women they are not given the chance to excel. Their ambitions are just sort of compressed and all that stuff." And she said in her recent podcasts that she wasn't allowed to do the things she enjoyed doing, and that she was limited in terms of what she could do. And then when you look at how these women, royals, Catherine, Sophie, Princess Anne, we are going to see Beatrice now also jumping in. When you see how they are now doing these engagements solidly, how they're stepping out to do things they love, it is telling a different story to what Meghan tells the world. Okay. So I will catch up in a bit. Thank you, Francis. Have a wonderful day. Thank you, Lorna. Have a great day wherever you go. Lorna, I'm really, really grateful every time you step in here to, engage with these messages. Lorna and Lorraine and all of you here, you guys are very, very great. I really, really love your encouragement and your wisdom and knowledge share on these lives. It's great to see new faces here. Karen Witcher, a new face I hadn't seen before. Lisa, also a new face. Great to have you guys on board. Lisa says, I love your show. It's very informative. I see a pic on your wall. You were a guard. Wow. Yes, I was a guard. Lisa Clark. Woo, you've got very, very sharp eyes. Yes. I used to be a Queen's Guard, and I did that for 7 years. and I loved it. I went on tour of Afghanistan. My regiment was involved in a number of Queen's Guard ceremony, or call them royal ceremonial duties, like Queen's birthday parades. I was always there in the Horse Guards parade, marching for the Queen, presenting arms. And I did the royal wedding for Catherine and Kate. So I was right there at the center of Buckingham Palace again, doing the guard of honor as the fly past was taking place. I'm talking about Catherine and William's wedding day. So I took part in that, and I was working with the Irish Guards. So I loved that. And of course, when I look at some of these photos up here, I have so many of them around the house. They remind me of such glorious days. So when I talk about the values and the values within the royal family, I'm speaking from a place of knowingness. And when I see people like Meghan who are coming in to say this and that, I feel really sad, because the royal family has supported so many people in different ways, including myself. When I joined the British Army, I was among the very first blacks to work for the Queen. And the way they welcomed me and the way they gave me the support in place, was very, very great to see. And that brings me to the story, again, this recent book published by Valentina Lowe, another royal biographer. I don't know if you've read that book. It came out recently, and in which he said that Meghan was given support that she wanted, that she so badly needed to help cope with being a new royal. And apparently Prince William offered to give in his aids to help Meghan in settling into the royal family. They said they fully understood that she was coming in from an industry of being an actress, and as old as she was, she needed a sort of a special package to help her understand the royal values. And they said they would support Meghan, while in the while in the royal family. They fully understand that she has her passion in acting and all that, and they were willing to go as far as they could to help her sort of still do those things while serving. But she said, no, I think I don't want to do acting anymore. I'm here fully to support my husband, Prince Harry. Okay, so she said that on the onset, that she had given up everything to just come and support Prince Harry. Okay, so when she goes around and says they refused me to do my own things, things I had passion for, again, you are seeing somebody who is telling big lies. Okay, so there we go. Karen Witcher says, a good morning from the USA. Enjoyed your live chat. First time watcher. Karen, thank you for stopping around. And of course, please come back to this channel. We share royal insights. We learn about what is going on in our royals world, especially British royals. But also, most importantly, we share updates on what is things that are going to be coming on in the next coming few days, and also try and analyze stories of what has been going on around our royals. And so today, for this live stream, of course, we were looking at the activities that royals have been doing since getting back into business. And we've looked at how, Sophie has traveled to Congo for the first time. And of course, she's the first royal to go to Congo, and she's visiting a war-torn area in Congo, looking at women and children who are victims of war. And of course, we have looked at Princess Anne travel to United States recently, becoming the first member of the royal family to travel to United States since Meghan and Harry left. And we know that Prince William was due to travel, but he cancelled his travel plans because they were in the same week that Britain was the UK was still mourning the death of Queen Elizabeth. Okay, so yes, we are very, very much where we are supposed to be in terms of catching up with our royals. But yes, great to see you guys. Karen Witcher, which part of US are you texting from? Big great to know. I've got so many friends from United States who are following up on this channel every day very closely. So please welcome aboard. You're going to feel comfortable, feel safe, feel loved here. We've got a great bunch of people here. Lorraine Walker does a great job welcoming people coming in every day. And we have so many others who are not on this live today, and others have got things to do. Lorna has just popped out briefly, but we have a great community of people showing up on these lives here who will show love and kindness to all of you. And Lorraine Walker says your channel is the only one I can find that talks about royal news in the UK anyway. Yes, thank you so much, Lorraine. Yes, I thought, why not keep people informed about what is going on? You know, from a very, very honest and kind point of view. Because there are so many channels out there that are talking about the royal family in ways that are very despicable. And you think, right, why? Because, of course, we've had the Queen who has been holding this flag for 96 years, and we know what a leader she has been. We know what great things she has done for so many leaders in terms of inspiring them and communities. Okay, so we have the Commonwealth countries, about 54, 56 of them who are under the UK and the Commonwealth, and we know how much they have survived on the support that they get from the United Kingdom, but also the security that is around, that is around in these areas. Given the fact that the world is so much changing now, security threats, so there is no standing alone. So blocks like these standing together can really, really be helpful in keeping these countries and areas secure in terms of food, financial, etc. So when I see people talking about the royal family, yes, they are bad things. We won't deny the fact there is no one who is right, okay, who is very perfect. But when we look at the great things that the royal family is contributing to local communities every day, we get to appreciate what they do. Okay. So I think the king was clear why he is king. They won't be working royals. I'm very, very sure Lorraine is talking about Meghan and Harry. Yes. She said, I wish you well wherever you go. I love you so much. Of course, he had to say that because that is King Charles, very kind hearted. But he is a man who was very, very hurt by what Meghan and Harry did to the royal family. We remember Prince Charles walked Meghan down the aisle because Meghan didn't have a father to do that on the day. Even if Meghan's father was there, Meghan sort of made it very difficult for this unlucky gentleman to be around on her daughter's big day. So King Charles III, who was a prince by then, stepped in to do the walking of Meghan up to the front where Meghan met Prince Harry. But Meghan doesn't seem to remember all those things, but instead she's talking about other things. Okay, she doesn't remember that actually this man who is now the king sort of saved her on the day by stepping in to walk her as the father. I'd never seen anything like that in my life. I had never seen a wedding of a sort in my life, especially a royal wedding where the bride or the groom had to be scrutinized before marrying into the royal family. If you found to have all these issues going on, I'm quite sure they would never allow you. But the royal family was able to bend all those rules and make sure that they allow Meghan in. And also because Harry was so much in love, they had to work out a plan to help make their day a success. But what does the royal family get in return? What we are saying right now. So tell me why people are not going to be angry with the Meghan and Harry's. Okay. Lisa says this is his destiny. His wife should have been supportive of that. I know, Lisa, I think you're talking about Prince Harry. Yes, you're right. And I think Prince Harry didn't help himself as well. He was so madly in love that he gave away all his powers. Now, I know all of you women who are on these lives, whether you're married or you have husbands or what, but you will agree with me that as a man, sometimes you have to stand and make concrete decisions, okay? Especially in a capacity that Prince Harry was in, knowing very much the royal family values and knowing that this is somebody in Meghan who was coming from out there into the royal family and marrying within a space of 6 months. Prince Harry knew that he had to do a lot to help his wife settle in. He had to do a lot of seeking for advice and support. He had to do a lot in, making sure that he creates those avenues of support for Harry himself, because he's married somebody totally un-royal. But did Harry seek that support? It's very, very unlikely that he did. But also, if we are to look at Prince Harry's activities before the royal family and how he used to go on engagements, follow the right royal protocol procedures. He used to work alongside his brother, Prince William. He used to be very close to Catherine. Together, they formed this Heads Together mental health campaign, which was there to help support people suffering from mental health. Harry had it all. Okay, so Meghan could have easily had the best teacher in Prince Harry himself. But surprisingly, Harry lost all those powers to offer the support that Meghan needed. And indeed, it was Meghan advising Harry on what to do in the royal family and how things went so wrong. I hope you guys know where I'm coming from. So Lisa again says she should have known his place and support him there. Okay, so you guys know all these things. Lauren bounces back in and says, it is a unique situation to be in, so can be easy, but there is a worse situation to be in. Okay. Yes, get these conversations going on, ladies. I really, really appreciate your awesome contributions here. And you're driving these conversations forward. This channel here would be nowhere without you guys. Okay, so I'm really, really grateful for your support, your kindness. The Wessex babies, Lauren says, we have another big royal baby. Tell George, who know how old to be the point. Yes, yeah. So we still have the royal family growing. Prince George is the next to be the next king, third in line. When he starts having babies, so we're gonna have another new generation coming up all together. Princess Charlotte. Oh, those who will be here back there in those years to come are in for the best of the best in Princess Charlotte. Whether she becomes queen at some point, we don't know, but we know we have Prince George somewhere there, and if George has kids, then Princess Charlotte will go on to become pretty much more like we see Princess Royal Anne is today. Princess Royal is the 16th in line. Princess Royal Anne is the 16th in line to the British throne. Who knew she would be that far? many years ago she would have been the second in line because she's the Queen's only daughter, and she would come after Prince Charles. But see how Prince Charles gave birth to children. Prince Charles's children have given birth, so Princess Anne has fallen down the ranks. As you know, as we see, standing at the 16th in line. And Princess Royal Anne has children with, but she refused her kids. Well, she turned down the idea of her kids having royal titles. The Queen wanted to give them royal titles, but Princess Anne said, no, they are royals, but they don't have royal titles. But that was entirely up to Princess Royal Anne. Right, guys, I have to quickly dash somewhere today to get a few bits and bobs sorted, but we will catch up again sometime soon. Okay, and we will again try and have a recap of what has been going on. Hopefully, other big stories come up. Look out for the coronation of King Charles III's dates. This will be publicized very soon. The announcement will be made, and then we will know the actual dates of when the coronation will be taking place. And we know that, of course, Harry's book is yet to be published. So eyes are wide open. Is he turning this book? Is he giving up publishing this book, or is he actually being pushed to publish it? But when he publishes it, what is going to happen? So we are also keeping that space. And also Meghan's podcast series are continuing to come out. She released one recently in which she had a big go at the royal family in saying it is this small place with a framework that is limiting people from performing. Very nasty words against the royal family. We don't know where this will all end up. But one thing we know for sure is that the royal family is doing as much as they can to keep Meghan and Harry as far away as they can be from the programs of the royal family. So thank you guys for sticking around to the end. I must say I'm going to conclude this live, and we'll catch up sometime again in the week. I have a video, I think, that will come up later on this evening, depending on what time I get. But please stay subscribed. Lorraine Walker, great to always see you on these lives. Lorraine, do you live in Northampton, did you say? I'm quite sure you said you live somewhere around Northampton, Lorraine. I have a party I will be throwing at some point. This will be in front of Buckingham Palace, and I'll be having a few drinks to celebrate our growth. And Lorraine, if you don't live far away, if you live in London, you can help with sorting our, the tables and the seats and all that stuff in front of Buckingham Palace. How nice would that be? Lisa Clark, thank you so much, wherever you are and watching this live. Lorna has been on here a little earlier. Karen Witcher, great to see you guys. Fred was in earlier. And who else here? Yes, guys, thank you so much. Guys, I truly appreciate your kindness, your support for this channel. Let us keep growing. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and make sure to stay up to date here at Francis Page Media. For all of you guys, the Lawrence who have been subscribed to this channel from day one, truly appreciate your encouragement, and you guys are still carrying the flag of Francis Page Media forward. So I'm going to sign up right now, but I'm always going to keep all of you at heart every day. Thank you again for your support. Let us stay very much in touch here at Francis Page Media. In the comment section below, drop any thoughts you might have on this channel and the things you want us to be talking about quite often, because that is how we are going to grow, by talking about those stories that our lovely friends here would like to hear. Before I go, quickly, I'll just tap on that. Meghan and Harry talk about security when they left the life of service. Absolutely. So I don't know how I missed that, Lisa, but that security issue of Meghan and Harry is actually something that was an ongoing since they left, because they left by they wanted to have one foot out, one foot in, because when you leave, you expect to start funding your own agendas, your programs. Security becomes your own what? Your own responsibility. But wanting the royal family to provide security to you when you're not actually doing any service to the royal family, I don't see how that would have worked. But again, they came down here in the UK recently. There wasn't anything that happened to them. So with this security, I don't know why they were so much obsessed with it. If not, UK is the safest place for them to be. They chose to go and live elsewhere. Okay, so must they start thinking of how they are going to provide for their own security. There's a case in court. Prince Harry took Her Majesty's government for denial of police security here and all that stuff. That we don't know where that case has reached. But what we know is that recently the royal family insisted that whenever Meghan and Harry are visiting the UK or going abroad, they need to fund their own security. And I'm pretty sure King Charles III will always stand by his word, not forgetting that King Charles III also works very much hand in hand with Prince William in coming up with these decisions that are stopping Meghan and Harry from pulling the royal family down. So guys, I have to go anyway, but let us catch up soon. Unless anybody has a question here, I joined the resume. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you, Sam. And thank you, T. Rando. How do we receive low numbers of book? Of course, of course, of course, without a doubt. People already know what is to come in that book. There is nothing really new. Okay. But I'm so grateful to have you guys on this live. Thank you for sticking around till the very end. Let us catch up very, very soon again. Bye bye, guys. Have a great rest of the week. Bye bye, all. Bye.